Conservative New Media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the founder and CEO of Conservative New Media. Now, I just listened in to this debate, this Senate race here in California between Carly Fiorina, Chuck DeVore, and Tom Campbell. This was the first, as I understand it, the first live debate where they were on KTKZ with Eric Hogue for 1 hour. We'll put the link up if they do the podcast, this and that, whatever, and you can judge for yourself what we say here. We're doing a breakdown right now and some tips and some analysis of this debate. It's going to be no holds barred, no BS, no whatever. Now, I have known and at least interviewed and met each one of the candidates. Known some of them more than that. We've obviously done paid work for Chuck DeVore's campaign. So, you know, you guys know where I stand on a lot of this type of stuff, in full disclosure, and you know, I'd like to think that I'm a political and media expert. Without getting into that, let's get right into this. This is what I saw, and this is, well, rather what I heard, and what I know based upon my own experience. Who won a debate? Straight up headline. Carly. Carly destroyed them. I will tell you why. Each of the candidates did some things right, and each of the candidates needs to do some things better. Now, on this anti-Semitism thing, you know, first of all, the whole whisper campaign. Now, I know California politics and California GOP politics, and you know, there's some people that think that they're real cute and little whisper campaigns and think that they're running everything and whatnot, and like, you know, that it's a proper party and all this type of stuff. And you know, I don't know, I haven't heard any of that, and I'm very, very plugged in. But if there is a whisper campaign going on, that's just lame. It has no place in any of this type of stuff. People that think that they're cute and smart aren't. And, you know, so that's all I have to say about that. I haven't heard anything, but if it's going on, it's really, really lame, and it needs to stop. That's what I know. Now, so I thought in terms of a point of, is there a whisper campaign and what that is, I thought that was a wash. I don't think that really pushed the dial one way or the other. However, I think that on the point about, I think Carly did a great job, and Chuck did some things in there too, of, you know, basically raising questions about Tom Campbell, if he is too soft on military, and then therefore by incorporation, Israel, you know, our alliance with Israel, and maybe possibly national security. Now, I think that Tom did a good job coming back on at least the, you know, homeland security point with the military tribunals and not trying, you know, terrorists in civilian court and that kind of stuff, whatever. But I think that there were, you know, you take the anti-Semitism thing out of it on the point of who's the strongest and who you felt like best about with military. I think, you know, both Chuck and Carly raised questions on Tom on that. In terms of, like, you know, who is, well, let's just get into some of the other stuff, and then we'll get into some of the other points there. Styles for all of them. You couldn't hear Tom well at all. I don't know if his mic was low, if he was away from the mic, if he wasn't speaking well into the mic, or whatever like that. Chuck is good. He's got a big voice, big guy, you know, got the radio voice thing going, whatever like that. And you could hear him fine, but he had some stylistic issues that we'll get into that he needs to correct ASAP. Carly, by far and away, even though she was on the phone, clearest, most concise, easiest to understand, just pop, 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 pop. Sounded strong, sounded energetic, sounded forceful without being too much. And, you know, maybe that's my bias because that's my style, that's what I like. But I mean, I think that she really came across as someone that is fighting for you, meaning in this, you know, context, California GOP primary voters, speaking in language that they could understand right there in the trenches with them, and I think it was brilliant. It was kind of the anti-Meg Whitman thing, as I personally advised her to do, frankly. Okay, so it's great to see that her and her people, you know, are listening, if not to me, to what they need to be doing out there, and I think it's definitely working. and I guess I should have that disclosure in there too. That after our interview and before and after our interview, that we had the exclusive interview that's fantastic. We'll link to that, and everybody loves it. Our campaign loves it. Other people have loved it. Said frankly, I've had at least a dozen people tell me that is the best interview they've ever seen with Carly Fiorina. That I really brought her out in a way that no one else has. I gave her and her campaign and her husband a ton of advice about what to do, and I think that it's clear to me that she's picking it up, and it's very effective. Both in terms of politically and message, and in terms of media broadcasting tactics, this and that, whatever. Okay, that disclaimer done and aside. Now, Chuck DeVore, wow. I love Chuck. He's a great guy, great family, real American, really smart, knows the issues, cares about the issues, has the record, but man, oh man, it's like, I just gotta be real. That campaign is doing everything they can to lose this thing. Seriously, I just can't sugarcoat it, BS it anymore. I've talked to people on background, I've sent, information to the campaign. I'm just going to say it plain. Chuck needs to make some immediate moves in, changes in style, and I would really make a shuffle of the deck and get some people the walking papers on that campaign. I just got to say that, right? Why do I say that? There's been this, on the internet stuff. Demon sheep, demon sheep, demon sheep, demon sheep. He's got a couple people over there, at least one, that is just hammering this demon sheep thing till the cows come home. That ad wasn't about Chuck. That ad is so old and tired it's not even funny. That ad, Chuck's responses in this demon sheep game and all this demon sheep stuff doesn't tell me one single thing about why I should vote for Chuck DeVore. It's ridiculous. It is a colossal waste of time. Chuck is the least known person in this race. He needs to tell people why Chuck DeVore. Period. End of story. Now, along the same lines, in the debate, I felt that Chuck was too on talking points. Hey, here's a shot on Carly, and then he couldn't respond well. In my opinion, he responded the least flexible of any of the candidates. He wasn't always really listening. It was like, I'm going to ram this talking point down. Similarly, broad picture. Here's the thing that Chuck needs to do. He needs to explain why Chuck DeVore. He needs to explain why he has the most experience, is right on the issues, is going to be the best senator with the best voting records, why he can beat Barbara Boxer and the others can't, and that he is a safe vote, that he's going to be acceptable in a blue state to vote and win on this type of stuff. You can't look fringy, you can't look excessive and all that type of stuff. I'm not saying don't be real, and I'm not saying don't play it safe as all these rhinos and stuff do, but I'm saying that there is a way to be a conservative, stick up for who you are, but do it in a sane and clear and winning personality way. When you come off mean, and he came off many times like he was attacking Carly, it just doesn't play. It will not play right. Examples. Talking about, he just seemed too unhinged. It's not the first time. When he went, bamboozled Carly on KFI, it's the same thing. And again, I'm keeping it real. I'm telling you what I hear behind the scenes. Okay, I could say more, but I've heard it from a lot of people in the party. So I'm just keeping it real because I'm trying to be honest. We have a duty to our viewers to tell them the truth, and hopefully this is going to be useful to all the candidates because we want the best candidate to win. Again, we don't really have a talk in this fight because we've done videos with all the candidates. We've worked for some of the candidates. We've worked for all the candidates. That's just where we're at, okay? We're an arms dealer in terms of, helping any conservative out there do better and win. Period. End of story. Now, Chuck's people talking about the HP printers selling to Iran. I call it the Reddington Gall conspiracy or Reddington Gate. Okay, are you really going to spend critical debate time talking about, are you making the argument that somehow, even if true, okay, that somehow HP's selling freaking printers to Iran, that made their nuclear program? Are we really you know, if you wanted to say money, oil, gas, arms, you know, nuclear technology, you know, I could go there with you. But printers, it sounded just idiotic. I mean, there's just no other way to say that. It was brutal. And they kept pushing it. And then the thing about the Pentagon told me this, about, you know, the defense briefings, this and that, and Carly comes back, yeah, I had cancer and couldn't make the means. I mean, it just was a freaking meltdown. Chuck's best point was at the end when he said, you know, was going back and forth with Tom Campbell on taxes and why he was better. That was good. Little shot at Carly at the end. We didn't need that. I'm not saying don't address Carly and don't take her on. I'm just saying it's stylistically.